somebody posted into my Discord. They brought this to my attention. There is a post by North Gallus, also known like the Wizard Stories, the username on here on Twitter. They made like this huge revelation. I haven't read through it yet, but it's something about Amon and Circus Tower being Emmett. And I'm kind of curious like to see the reasoning here. So we're going to dive through this together on stream. So this is what they said. I might have played it too much and I might be missing lore, but every time I play Circus Tower, I'm suspicious that Amon is Emmett Selk. Extravagant wizard with power over death, obsessed with theater, directly caused the fourth umbral calamity and the downfall of the Allegan Empire. So you have an ability appearance. Amon appears, and there's some highlights here. Giant humanoid with extravagant attire. The incarnation appears to be a flesh and blood man, specifically an Elzen. His personality is equally whimsical, is like a showman performing for his guests. His big attack is Curtain Call. I bid the falling curtain pause. Let's see. Let's continue. Thinking about how Ishikawa wrote Circus Tower, Emmett talked about how he was there. Who else was he than the gigantic theater wizard in a very obvious disguise involving a death mask? I feel like the main detail we knew before Shadowbringers about Emmett was that he's a theater nerd. The Evilise raids. Connected the two dots. You didn't connect shit. I've connected them. Let's see here. Emmett talked about he was there when he was a theater nerd. I read that. It would also follow Emmett's usual mode of operation where he manipulates people based on his own preoccupations and fears, just as he manipulated Va-3's father with fear. By the way, spoilers. Sorry, spoilers. Monka W for those going into Shadowbringers. Va-3's father with fear of the end of Legacy. That was Zande's exact fear too. And that's Emmett's big personal concern, too. I'm not sure how likely or unlikely it is. I don't know the lore well. I just think about it every time I hide behind the ice when Amon does Curtain Call. Okay, I'm queuing up just to play it again, to look at him again. Watch the gesture he makes when he casts his Thundaga, Blizzaga, or Fire Raid-wide spells. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait just 1 minute. Hold up. Hold on here. They both do a snap. Okay. The first thing she wrote was this Crystal Tower raids, right? So she peppers in a theater wizard. That's this reference to Prospero from Shakespeare's Tempest. And then Emmett is also a reference to Prospero from the Tempest. And they're still talking about Amon in 5.4. A reply. I'm screaming, this has to be canon. Come on, this cannot be not him. It's too obvious, too many patterns. It can't be coincidence. They're going to make us fight a bunch of Emmett Selk clones on Endwalker confirmed. There's a reply here. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't realize you already mentioned some of that in your original tweet, but also a lag perfected cloning technology. Tech you later uses to create. Anyway, I already said spoilers, so be careful. Squints suspiciously. This whole time I was wondering what sort of cool Allegan clothing did Emmett wear back in the day. I want to know how beautiful his clothes were, but maybe I already have my answer. This is their strat on how to get the van base to replay Crystal Tower in 2021. Amon's Ice Boulder spell looks like the Hades crown. Wait, does it really? His cast for turning people to ice chunks is also the shape of Hades' crown. I've had the same thoughts for a while, especially since it was also Amon who shut down the detempering studies. This bitch really do be a fucking theater kid. Anyway, I thought it would cast this crack theory out into the void and like 5 people would even know what I was talking about, but that this possibility seemed to cross nearly everyone's mind at least once seems like some Ishikawa stuff is going on. This can't be true though, right? Regardless of whether it's him or not, it's certainly a parallel character at least. I wonder if Emmett Selk had taken over his body and ditched it before the tower was sealed, or maybe clones were involved. You fight a few clones right before you fight Amon. Thank you, this is so good. They seem related at least. If anyone has the quote about what exactly they said about Amon and Tempering, it would be a really... What was this reply to? This part, unfortunately, I didn't screenshot what Graha says, but it's something about Amon, and they're right next to each other. Also earlier was said Amon prevented the Allagans from finding a cure for tempering, which is very Ascian motivated. I wonder what our friend Emperor Solus would think were he to learn that his own flesh and blood is seeking to usher in the final days. Together with a rogue Ascian, no less. So not even the Allagans were able to find a cure, rather were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. The most convincing piece of evidence to me is that Ishikawa would write two characters with such similarities. I just don't think she would do that on accident. The Crystal Tower raids are also where we meet Graha, who is Emmett's grand character foil. Oh, and here's some quotes, it looks like, connecting them onto tempering in 5.4. Finally, my manic need to screenshot every single plot-related line has some use. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. So not even the Allagans were able to find a cure, or rather were not given the chance to do so. But Amon is a bard, he drops a bard set. Emmett is a wizard. Are Amon's clothes for a bard, or maybe that's just what we've always in our foolishness assumed? Meanwhile, Emmett. What are some of these memes? Amon's hat, machinist. Gun. Okay. What Emmett says about the exact same tower when you fight Amon.
There is nothing. The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of her mortal flesh. Not even I could have performed such a feat.
I see. You had a hand in Allag as well.
This is why the developers are named the FF3 character Heian to Amon instead. If this is Emmett Selk in disguise, then are perhaps the sun names he takes on himself. Solus Amon, a tribute to the sun, the 14th. When you load Amon's model in, he's actually his small version, which happens to be about the same height as Emmett. This thread gets worse and worse. It just keeps going. People were saying he's not Amon because of the stuff you can only read in the Encyclopedia Eorzea, but I just read it and there's nothing in the Amon section that seems less likely to be Emmett than the later section on Solus, who we actually know was Emmett. Huh. This was a thread. I want to know where the hell this is going. Hold on, I'll like that too. I'll give it a retweet. This is the stuff I really like about the 14 community. And I think that happens in a lot of things. Like in other games too, but I love this. I mean, some of this can be really grasping, but then having something to do with Amon is definitely plausible. Yeah, I think that's true. Because, you know, the Ascians fucking mess with everything, right? I did not expect to see this with like so much similarity. And if anything, if this was planned, if this is true somehow, just think about the amount of care 14 puts into like their story development. Like that's just so impressive. But yeah, I never removed my cat cam. I just noticed that. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to show this on stream. I wanted to go through this with everybody in chat. I don't know enough about the lore because I'm really new. If Emmett could make the Allagan Empire, why didn't he have a bigger hand in our uprising? He made the Empire, sure, but what about us? The devs will deny everything until a future patch, and they'll say, gotcha. True. Like, sure, he could have been Amon, but he very well could have just taught Amon things, and Amon inherited his style. That, too, he could have been a huge influence, right? Like, that makes sense, too. I don't know. I just found it very interesting, and I wanted to go through this with you guys on stream. I really, the lore stuff is so interesting. I need to get more into it because I used to read about WoW lore all the time. I need to become a theory Andy of in 14. But that's yeah, that's very interesting to me. What was
Guys, if you're here, I also stream MMO and variety content on twitch.tv Big Hero 60. Have a good day.